Everyone, it is your girl Gelbeauty-QM here, aka Grace Honey. Today is time for another colorful versus muted situation. So I actually have one of the palettes on my eyes right now that's in this colorful versus muted, but we'll get there when we get there. I don't have too many this time. I think I have like 6. Is it 6? No, I have 5, so it's not that many to talk about. So let's get into it, honey. So first, colorful versus muted is the D'Andre Nicole and Beaute Bar Ultraviolet palette alongside the Violet palette from Vidyard. So I feel like these were somewhat similar. I'm not trying to say they're exactly similar, but I do feel like for a person who loves purples, the Vidyard one would be more for a muted person who loves purples, and this would be more for a person like me who loves color, who wants these rich, vibrant purples. So I feel like this was a good one to compare, just because, you know, this one is going to give you all that color and fun you want, and this one is more everyday appropriate for colorful purple makeup, or for more muted colorful makeup lovers who are scared of color but want to, you know, like dip their toe in. So this to me is that sort of palette, so that's why I'm going to pair it up against that one. So I'm thinking we might do a video on those. I don't know, we'll have to see. Next colorful versus muted I have is the, again, sorry, it's backwards, the Beaute Bar Dead Roses palette. Now if you all remember, I told you mine came late because I did a pre-order with the palettes on my eyes now, which is the Basic Witch, and then the Pastel Gardens, which is at toward the end of this video. But I feel like this palette is really similar to the Glam Light Red Velvet Cupcake. Now I don't know if I'm necessarily going to do a video on both of these, because I don't know if it's necessarily fair, because this one doesn't have any of the deep tones that this one does, so it'll be hard to try to get an outer V shade out of it. So if I do, I'd have to do something like soft, if you will, because this does have some of the tones in this palette, but it's like this one has a lot of deep, darker, grungier ones to put on the outer V and stuff that this one doesn't have. So you all can comment down below and tell me if you want one on this one or not. I kind of want to do it just because I want to be able to play with this palette again some more, and I haven't really played with it that much. I did one video on 4 Look Sport palettes with it, so you'll probably get one with this, but you know, that's the reason behind both of those. Next, we're going to do the one that's on my eyes finally. So the colorful versus muted, and this one is the Basic Witch palette alongside the Moonspell palette from Ulta Beauty. So I have Basic Witch on my eyes right now, and when I saw it, shout out to Betty Bean, because she pointed it out. She was talking about how it was like really similar to the Moonspell palette, and when I saw it I was like, you know what, it kind of is. I feel like it's like the fun younger sister of Moonspell. Moonspell is like the older sister that has more of a muted thing of color, and the younger one is all excited about bright fun colors. So that's why this one is the younger sister and this one's the older sister. But I feel like both of these give off similar vibes, and I can get a similar enough look to where we can do a video. So I'm definitely interested in doing a video on this one because it has the purples. Now it does have neutrals instead of the pinks, but I still feel like I could make a look work out of it because it has those greens and it has the purple. So I can do a green purple type vibe and make that work out with this. So we definitely doing this one just because I'm genuinely curious. It could be a good alternative for the people who missed out on the Moonspell. So this might be an underrated versus overrated as well, just because I'm like, you know, I don't see that many people talking about it. I'm like, we need to spread the word, spread the good cheer. No. But next, this one's probably gonna be really weird to some people, but like I feel like it goes. I feel like both these color stories are actually quite similar, so this is gonna be an underrated versus overrated as well, child, just because I'm like, anyway. Next we have colorful versus muted. We have the Sticky Sweet palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. If you all remember, this is my least favorite Blend Bunny palette, alongside the Pretty and Pastels palette from Glaminatrix. You have actually not seen that video when I'm making this one, however you will see that video before you see this one. So here's what both of them look like side by side. I feel like they're giving really similar vibes. It's just this one's more scattered and this one is just more plain, you know, in your face, letting you know where the palettes, where the colors go with which. It's funny as it is because that's what Blend Bunny normally does, and she just scattered all these, and you know, people were not feeling this at all. I don't really care. I mean, like you can look and pick color stories, and this one is a little bit more difficult than her normal palettes, which I'm assuming is why people didn't like it, but you know, it's fine. But I feel like this is a more muted one just because you don't get as many colors, and I feel like you get more pastels and more neutrals and more everything in here, as opposed to you just get this straight line of a certain amount of colors, and that's it. So that's what I'm putting these two against each other. Plus I'm just interested to see how well they will go alongside each other. So that's gonna be another colorful versus underrated versus overrated situation as well. Look at me finding double team and stuff to do with. The last one I have is colorful versus muted. This is the last Beaute Bar palette I swear, and the last palette of all, this is the Pastel Gardens alongside the Juvia's Place, a Garden of Juvia's. I think I put this against another palette as well in this series, so it's giving me vibes from a couple of palettes apparently, but I feel like this is definitely the more muted one because it literally has neutral tones in it. Like that brownish shade down there to me is more of a neutral shade than an orange, like, you know, I feel like they were trying to make it be, and this one definitely just gives you literally more like pops of color in it. If it had a neutral in it, then I might not have wanted to pair these, but just because I feel like that's a more literally like brownish orange at the bottom, I use that as an excuse to put this in here. Don't judge me. Don't you judge me, because I really want to play with this palette again too, and I want to have something for it to go up against, so I feel like this would go against that one nicely. But those are all the palettes I pretty much had to talk about. I kind of want to swatch some of the shades in this one and the Blend Bunny one just to see how similar we can get to determine if we should do this or not. So I think I am going to take the reddish brown shade called Luminous in the Glaminatrix palette, and I'm going to swatch it alongside the shade in the Blend Bunny palette. So as you can see, this one's more warm tone and red underneath, and this one is more of a deep neutralish chocolate brown. So those two would match. There's a deeper purplish in here, and there's more of a gray in here. Oh, these two purples look the same. Let me try that. Especially since these oxidized. So this is the purple from the Matrix palette and the shade Spooky from, what do you call it, Blend Bunny. So I like shades like this. I thought this was going to oxidize a little bit more because it looks deeper in the pan, but I guess if I was blending it out, then it would probably oxidize more. Let me see if I blend it on my hand, will it like oxidize it more? I still don't think it's going to oxidize as deep as this, but I feel like it'll get a little bit deeper. Yeah, see, when I blended it out with my hand, as you can see, it is deeper than it was when we started out with. Sorry, y'all, the sun's going down at that weird angle, so I can't do much about it. But it did go deeper when I blended it. I'm just wondering how deep it would go when I blended for it to get to where I feel like it would need to be compared to this one. So that's a little interesting. I'm kind of glad I did that because it's like I could save myself the time of having to do the eye look and then finding out that it wouldn't necessarily work out like I wanted to. I'm trying to see if there are any other shades that's similar in here. Let's try for some of the shimmers. I have the shade called Soulful in the Glaminatrix palette, and then I'm going to take the shade Sprinkles in the Blend Bunny palette. So those shades actually look quite similar. So this one does look like it's a little bit frostier, and this one looks like it has a little more blue purple to it. But they have a shade in here called Soothing that looks like it's similar, but I feel like it'd be a little too deep, and it is. So I feel like I'd have to combine Soulful and yeah, when I combine Soulful and this one, it blends in better with the shade Sprinkles. So like I could combine those two, but so far I'm not seeing enough to where I feel like this might be the best. If anything, I'd have to use like the greens and the blues. Let's swatch the green shades and see how they're looking. There's colors called Brooding and Restful. So I'm going to take Restful from Glaminatrix. And then I'm going to take Brooding from Blend Bunny just to see. So the Blend Bunny one pulls a little more blue in undertone, even though it's giving like that forest green look in the pan. As you can see there, it's giving more of a blue look. And it's giving more of that traditional forest green in the pan. So I'm kind of just like, So now I'm not sure about this one. So this one we have to hold back and see. But I swatched those shades. Now let's get into the Garden of Juvia's and the Pastel Garden. They even both say garden on them. Didn't even think about that till just now. So let's look at those two. Now I'm trying to hold off and see. Like, are those similar? I don't know. Okay, so in here, they had a lot of similar tones when it came to like what they started off with. So I think I'm gonna swatch the orange shade. Wait, I swatched the shade Sunshine that's yellow to start off with. So I'll swatch the yellow shade called Japanese Rose in here to see if the undertones are gonna be the same. So the Juvia's Place one pulls more green in undertone. As you can see, this one is giving more of like pink, purple, and like green shimmery, sorry, pink, purple, and blue glitters in it, but staying true to like a yellow kind of undertone. So far those are matching. Then I'll swatch, well, there's no orange in this one, so I can't do that. I guess we could swatch the greens. I haven't swatched anything green in here, so I'm gonna swatch Money Tree. That's not gonna match it. I'll swatch Flower Petal. Sorry, Flower Petals. That one looks like it might match something in here a little bit better. Next to Queen Wizard. So I'm gonna use my thumb and use Queen Wizard because I wasted the other swatch. Okay, so here is Queen Wizard, and here is Flower Petals, and here is Money Trees. So as you can see, they're not looking similar either. So I'm kind of glad I swatched both of these, because now it's like I know just from doing those couple of swatches, I don't know if we're going to be able to have enough. So I'll do some more swatches off camera, and then you'll see if I decided in the future not that these two should go in there. But I'm glad I did that on camera with you all, just because I was like curious about like shimmers and other things like that. Because sometimes, like I told y'all before, it looks the same in the pan, but then when you get it in person and actually swatch it, it's like a totally different situation. And I feel like this is one of those where it's like a totally different situation now that I've swatched some of these shades. But anyway, that's all I have for this colorful versus muted intro. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.